Welcome back, Tran wins Siralim Ultimate. I am going to show you my time loop build. It's amazing. Notice as the enemy never gets a move. If you want to find out how I'm now the Time Lord, stay tuned. I have spent several hours planning out this next build, with at least 2 of those hours spent prepping my artifacts. As a reminder, if you level up your artifact to 35, your first trick slot will cost 5,000 brimstone instead of 2,500. Your first trick slot normally costs you 2,500, and then your second trick slot costs you 5,000. Once you hit 35, both of those trick slots become 5,000. That's the only oddity I know about, well, of that nature. Another oddity in the game is there's twin Purgatorian achievements for every realm quest ranking. There's Purgatorian 1 and Purgatorian 1, Purgatorian 10 and Purgatorian 10 and so forth. Finally, I did try to throw the tutorial. I did try to lose the tutorial. You're not allowed to skip turn, so I made a macro to skip turn and the game just crashes. Again, this game's early access. I like tinkering and trying to do the unexpected. But anyways, today I have the most awesome build ever. I'm probably gonna be putting this after like the first battle or something. But I'm really excited to share this with you. Just gonna start fusing. My first monster is gonna be the Apollinaire. Combined with the Royal Phoenix. This is going to result in a character that any resurrection ability that happens, it has a chance to activate a second time. So in this case, whenever any of my characters are resurrected, they have a 50% chance to be put on the top of the timeline. Double that, so they have maybe a 75% chance to be put on the top of the timeline. Next up, we have the star of the show, the Rook. I'm gonna merge him with a Mimic. I think this is the best look. It's like kind of a raccoon. The Mimic will always let him start at the top of the timeline while my speed is pretty substantial since I'm like level 700 and the enemy tends to be about 300 right now in my current realm depth. There are unstable realms that make me much slower. This will get rid of all of those problems and make it easier for me because my ultimate goal is to go brain dead during battle. That's my goal. But that of course takes a lot of preparation in advance. Now, I did study how the Rook does his abilities. He will get 30% of all stats except for health. He doesn't get any health. So this guy, I gave him a personality book to get his health up instead. And out of the traits he's got in my current build, I've decided defense is his least valuable stat. He also gets bonus stats if the characters that he's eating or whatever you want to call it has artifacts. So in this case, when I show you my artifacts, those are all actually geared up to preparing the Rook to go ham on the enemy. All right, next up, we've got the Forsaken Swamp Dweller. It's gonna merge with one of my Reclusive Whites. Got a few of them here. You are the least valuable. And so, like, this is my good stats. I've used books for all of this. Because I got plenty of them for all my farming. I guess we'll make you this one. All right, now I'll explain this build in a second because the third creature is also Reclusive White combined with a Forsaken Swamp Dweller. All right, so if we take a look, this is pretty much my Koloss bomb from earlier, except this is going to be on steroids. First off, the Forsaken Swamp Dweller gets more life than the Night Koloss, and I'm going to combine this with the Reclusive White's ability to come back to life. This one doesn't really look that much different except for the blade. I would like it if there was another image, but alright. This next set of monsters are brand new. We're going to use the Unguided Psychic and combine them with the Unguided Heathen. this is going to result in me always doing extra damage to enemies, if it works the way I assume it does. So for example, I might be death, and I would normally be weak to life. However, while I will probably still take substantial damage from that life monster, I will also do substantial damage back to that life monster, as well as any other class. Add capitalize on top of that, and I should be doing 275% damage. Alright, out of these images, I do want them to look a little bit different than the default. Like, I like the look of the top left one best, but I want them to look just a little different. So, I guess this one. And finally, we've got our Naden Rift Dancer. I've got a few of these because I've been working on my Kolos bomb stuff, and this is pretty much what's going on right now. Is if you were tired of seeing the Kolos bomb before, I'm sorry, but that's what we're bringing back in spades this time. Now we're gonna merge this with my Satyr Guardian. I don't know if this is the best move. I can always get another one, but enemies can only resurrect one time per battle. I just think it's annoying for them to resurrect, so I want the battles to be over faster. I probably don't need more damage output. I just need the enemies to go away. So we'll probably pick this one. And of course, any effects that happen when a creature dies will happen again. This includes when my characters do damage. So that should be familiar to people who've watched previous videos we've got here. Now, let's real quick skim my artifacts, and I'll talk about what each one does. Secret Recipe is the trait on this boot, on this set of boots. And those boots, what it does is when this person is revived, everybody else gets revived too. No biggie. Okay, well, as for my spell Aftermath, since these are on boots, the spell has a chance to activate when this person's turn comes up. Aftermath says that whenever you get this spell cast, you will attack that many times. So this character is more of an attack creature than her twin is also in my army, but we'll talk about her at last. The Crook is someone that I'm sure a lot of people use just for fun. I have been trying to plan around making the Crook more viable than my Knight Kolos, because having this one monster wasn't seeming as viable or efficient as having a team of 5 or 6 monsters. Like my previous team, it's basically a team of 5 monsters with 1 bomb. Right? This time, I think I've got something so amazing. All right. So its artifact gives it Resilience R, so when he kills somebody, everybody else will come back to life. Also, I've tried Summon Doppelganger. I never cast that spell before, but it's supposed to give him an extra turn. So, as for his on trick slots, he's supposed to take less damage. This will be useful if he's the last survivor. So that's nothing too special about that. While he is the linchpin, while he's the standard bearer for our army, he is not what makes this army tick. All right. So we have here our these are twins, basically. They're pretty much going to be the same thing. If you take a look at their stats, they are the same because they've merged into their component or partner aspect. All right, so since they're death, I've given them ability to do more damage to life. And since if my Chaos Rook survives fight and is the last one standing, I want them to be able to hurt enemies that are sorcery. So they do life and sorcery strength each. They have Meat Bomb, which allows them to do 100% instead of 50% like WoW. This does 100% damage. So not only do these characters have more life than the Knight Kolos, but they also do more damage as a percentage. And I've got 2 of them, with a Naden Rift Dancer. And finally, they have Damnation, which applies a curse to all enemies. Now, a sword, like the Tanukruks, that sometimes takes effect when you attack. So if he's attacking, he has a chance to get a Doppelganger. These 2 characters with a helm, you have to provoke to get them to cast Damnation. This next character, this is my damage booster. He has the ability Bombshell. I haven't given him an empty spell slot yet, or a thing yet, because there's a spell in the game that I don't yet have that will give, I think that's what it does. It gives my entire team Arcane. So I'm kind of building around giving him Arcane because I'm prepping him for a relic. And it might not be any good, but it might not even matter because they're all going to be dead. But this is just in case. All right, so Bombshell gives everybody 75% more damage when it's not their turn. So if for example, Tanukru is eating people and these guys are using Meat Bomb, that's an extra damage right there. Okay, finally we have the Rift Dancer. She also, like the Crook, has damage reduction rebirth on damage, but she is also equipped with Pandemonium Rebirth. Now, with her boots, instead of casting Aftermath, just to change things up, she could cast Cyclone Strike, because her stats are geared a little bit more towards intelligence. Now, as level 1, the down and up arrows don't make a difference, because every level 1 will be the same. These only affect your level gains, and you can always switch with the personality book, and it doesn't change, doesn't negate anything. It's pretty much like your base stat multiplied by your level. So, as far as I know, there's no way you can lose out on anything. You don't have to worry about leveling a guy or fusing a person at a certain level or whatever. No, that's just good, and I like that. So anyways, her intelligence is higher than her attack, so she's going to be my intelligence sister of these two. Pandemonium Rebirth says, after this creature dies, your other creatures are resurrected with 100% health. If they are not dead, they recover half their health, and this effect would not activate if I had more than one equipped. So I only have one equipped. I have 5 of them in my inventory. So if I combine her with her secret recipe, she will come back to life too. And this is so amazing of a build. So amazing. It's so amazing that I am level 1. We're gonna go to Realm Depth 110, Realm Instability level 5, and show you how amazing. Alright, so first off, Crook eats everybody, doing damage to the bad guys. They survive. Now, when I say damage, keep in mind that I'm level 1. I'm level 1. These guys are level 336. So you're thinking like, oh, well, Tran, you're just gonna die now. I want you to take a close look on that timeline on the right. You see that timeline? They're all above the Crook, and I did not even take one action. I have not commanded anybody to do anything. So looking here, this is all that has happened before any commands have taken place. And I'm a pyro, by the way, which means that they will kill themselves before anything happens. So even though I'm level 1, they will basically just die from my caster. Alright, I'm not gonna do anything. I'm gonna even skip turn. You've never seen me hit this button before, I don't think. So we're gonna skip turn. I don't have to do anything. This team of level 1s is going to own this team of 300s. Alright, so Crook ate everybody again. See that timeline? Do you see that? You see that? He ate everybody, and they went back to the top. And he still hasn't moved. He has not had a turn yet. I'm excited. I'm excited to treat this because I have a perpetual timeline control here. The enemy will do nothing. They can do nothing. I'm gonna skip turn. I'm gonna skip turn. I'm gonna skip turn. You can skip turn too. And you get a skip turn. So we've already fatigued. Crook is gonna get to move. Watch that timeline. Okay, I guess it didn't matter because they died. But yeah, I don't have to do anything. I can brain dead this. Summon some creatures. I'm trying to get all the cards for the Griffin so I can get more resources. Summon one of those Griffins, and looks like I got a Silver Claw, so we'll summon 2 packs of those if the game lets me. There's a certain limit you can have on monsters in an area. There we go. I didn't skip anything. I did not skip anything. This is as fast as I can make it. I was so excited to show you guys this. So not only do I do substantial damage, the enemy never gets a turn, or if it does, it's a very, very tiny chance. I'm sure I'm gonna get nerfed. I'm sure. See, that's it. That's the trick, though. That means that if I get nerfed, if this gets nerfed, that means that the developer saw this video or heard about it somehow. I'm just holding E. There are no commands for these guys. If they get a turn, all they're gonna do is defend and taunt. I don't have any commands. I don't have any spells. There's nothing. Their strategy is just to attack. Hitworm Master? Yeah, sure. I'm okay. I still live. Why? Because I got Pandemonium Rebirth. This is so amazing. I wanted to show this so bad, but I had. That's one of the reasons why I had to prepare so much for it, because I was like, oh, I'm onto something. So this is it. This is probably my in-game party. I mean, I might tweak it here or there. For example, I don't really need Aftermath there. It's just something to add some spice to my dancer on the left. But it's the same. It's the same thing as, for example, me putting names on all these items. It's just something to add personality to my stuff. This is it. This is the fastest I can go. Powerful, immortal. The enemy even never gets a turn. Even if they get to, even if they weren't dead in the first half a move, even if they weren't dead at the start of combat, they don't get a turn ever. So this is why I really didn't feel I needed defense. Even if they were to survive the fight, you have to keep in mind that my Tanukrook is going to have 30% of all these stats. Let's take a look at the battle history. How much damage am I doing? Well, let's see here. The meat bomb, just one meat bomb is doing 44,000 damage at level 100. And my current enemies, my current characters, they have 700 life. The Tanukrook has health up, so let's use him as a benchmark. I'm doing 30 times his health with the first bomb. But the thing is, I've got 2 bombs. And I've got a Death Dancer here. So that's 4 bombs at 44,000 damage. I am kind of morbidly curious what will happen if I enter a mirror ball in Siralim's realm. Oh, and please hit that like button. I want this video to get out there. I want people to see how amazing this team is. This team is so great. It needs to be shared. Hey, that's pretty lucky. Normally you're forced to fight 6 creatures at once, but there's only 1 this time. Should be easy enough. Phobos snaps his fingers. Daggers. In the blink of an eye, 5 perfect copies of it appear and surround your creatures. They attack. Unfortunately, I don't get to inspect him. He's just gonna die. So I might have to rethink this team for boss fights, just so that I can show you the enemy. However, I do know that I'm gonna fight him later on. I mean, he's gonna appear as other higher tiers. But still, this is my build. This is Tran's build. You saw it here. So what did I love characters? All right, my characters ended up 100 levels higher. Let's go back to base. And now I'm gonna go ahead and use this to charge them up the rest of the way. Because 1, I want the achievements in the game. It's not Steam achievements, in-game achievements. It'll raise my piety bonus. The more achievements you have, the stronger your character gets resources. We're just gonna go ahead and boost everybody up, and of course it's gonna make it easier for me to raise my highest level. Now, there is one more relic I'm going to get. By the way, I'm Pyromancer because I just need 1 more % to get this completed. In fact, you know what? Let me do that real fast. Alright, since I control the very fabric of the timeline myself, this is obviously no problem to get. Let's see what we get here. Boring. I got a plush. That's kind of cool. Alright, that's pretty much all I noticed is a plush. What do we need here? Sorcerer. Sorcerers are masters of controlling the battlefield. Why worry about offense or defense when your enemies can't move to begin with? That is perfect! Let's take a look at my perks. So, alright, so these are the perks I've set up with. Basically, the enemy will be stoned, frozen, sleeping, and I'm controlling the timeline. This is actually a really good way to demonstrate. Let's go ahead. Awaken Butt Kicker. This is so that as I control the timeline, even without the sorcerer abilities, the Tanukuruk will be able to hit the enemy and hit the enemy hard. Consistently, every time at the start of his turn too, because he never actually gets a move. At the start of his turn, he kills off his team, then his team revives, and then they get pushed ahead of him on the timeline, so he doesn't ever get the move, if it happens like this. So he's going to get a free attack on the bottommost enemy in ideal circumstances. Now, that being said, there's a minor chance that my guys won't get put above the Tanukuruk on the timeline, and if that happens, by that point, the Tanukuruk probably has enough stats to destroy everybody. We're going to go ahead and get the Triumvir for the spellcaster of our team. In the unlikely event the spellcaster ever gets a move. Tune. You can have that. You can have that. You can have that. He's going to have Bloodseeker later, but I don't have enough piety for that. You can have that. That's a health bonus item. She'll have Rosenthorn later to debuff the enemy, but I don't have enough piety for that. And you can have Triumvir. That is everything. Burning Ass Kicker. Burning Triumvir. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to make things a little more interesting for this next one. I'm going to remove this health item. They get an impressive amount of health, by the way, like a really large amount of health. But I'm going to remove these so that you can see what happens in battle when the Tanukuruk has to move and when the enemy has to do stuff. Let's see here. Copy of my spell gems. Good luck. Okay. Extra nemesis creatures. I like that. We're also going to do the Bastion of the Void. Even though I shouldn't be doing indirect damage anymore. We're going to do the Bastion of the Void. That is a place where indirect damage does not have the best abilities. So this guy has blinking. Let's take a look what's going on. So, to begin with, the Monster Crown ate everybody. That's what I call it. And Resurrection Code, Pandemonium Rebirth, Secret Recipe brings everybody back to life. And then the Phoenix ability, Second Chance, brings them all to the top. The Forsaken swamped out on Reclusive White because of their Forsaken abilities. They lose some of their hit points as the battle begins. So that's fine. Alright. So, what can we do? We can do anything we want. But let's take a look at him, at his stats right now. He has only eaten the team once, and he has 41,000 attack. We compare him to the enemy, who has already 259% extra attack and 231% extra hit points. The enemy still has less attack than me, even though they have 17,000 attack on an attack up guy, by the way. Whereas she's attack up, but she only has 11,000. Again, he has 41,000. Now, his health is the only thing that doesn't get digested. I have him going health up. Okay. What we're gonna do is, we're just gonna skip turn. I want you to pay attention to the timeline on the right. Skip turn. Skip turn. Skip turn. So they're just losing health because they're Forsaken. Skip turn. And again, I didn't get the move. Tanukuruk ate everybody. Then they shoved him back up to the top of the timeline. He never got a move. So with Butt Kicker as a relic equip, he will probably attack in addition to all of this. Now, I know I need to upgrade it first, but I'm spending my piety on just getting the proper relics first, and then I'll upgrade them. But yeah, so let's take a look at what his stats are now. 71,000! If I include like a Banshee in here and Dark Ritual him or whatever, Dark Siphon him, Death Siphon, I forget the name of it. Yeah, I think it's Death Siphon. If I include a Banshee in here and Death Siphon him, I will have 2 of these guys. So, let's go ahead and we'll just start hitting the enemy. Let's try Schism. Based on number of times I've revived. That didn't do too much. If you take a look at the enemy, they have a formidable amount of health. A tremendous amount of health. How much damage was that? And they're protected, so that didn't really do too much damage. and I'm just gonna hold down attack at this point. And we'll see if the enemy ever gets a move before I finish chiseling them to death. And they might get to move. Oh, apparently he decided to cast. Oh yeah, that was his macro. His macro, or he doesn't even have macro on. He just has that selected. That's fine. Okay, he gets summoned Doppelganger, so now he should get 2 moves. Gonna stack? No. Okay, now he's disarmed, so he no longer gets his ability from his weapon, which will give him things like Rebirth, but he's just beating the enemy to death at this point. So I don't actually need Meat Bomb, it just makes it easier. Yeah, that's a lot. Let's just get rid of some of those buffs here. Being silenced doesn't matter too much when I die every turn, so... The character that cast that lightning storm, that is my attacker. She's my intelligence person, which is about a 2,000 difference, and not quite half, but it's still a huge chunk. I don't have any macros set for this team. I just have them set to queue up spellcasting as the first move. Alright, here's the next boss. Not a very creative creature, is it? Part of me just hopes that he was actually continuing his sentence from the previous battle. Okay, well, we'll start with the good old Cyclone Strike. That's automatic right there. Oh, you didn't do any damage. Alright, let's go ahead and Mass Dispel that protection off of you guys. Not a fan of that. And we'll get another turn while we're at it. It's not enough fire. You know, I'm not quite sure what happened there, but I was a little worried. Let's see here. Recompense. Okay. Well, that's another thing I don't have to worry about when I do Meat Bomb, because it's not damage from anybody that's alive. Have you guys healed at all? Nope. I don't know what the red bullseye is, actually. Oh, I forgot to inspect Giran. Now we're going to head to the next area under full power. Although it means we won't be able to inspect Chroma, I want to showcase what my creature set is capable of at its best. This creature's eyes are permanently crossed. It's alarming to see how much trouble the majority of your foes tend to have with their eyes. Much like a beach ball that is low on air, it awkwardly rolls towards you while screaming about how badly it wants to eat your creatures in the most high-pitched voice you've ever heard. Unsurprisingly, your creatures attack. Okay, so let's take a look at what just happened there. 1 million damage. And if they had survived that, they would take that 3 more times. Chroma, however, did not take any damage. Your creatures only take damage from one class at a time. At the start of this creature's turn, the class changes. Okay. So does this mean I can only hit it with life? Because this was death. Oh, well, nature. Nature beats life. Or is it red? I don't... Is it red? Is that what I'm supposed to hit it with? Okay, let's try Blast Wave. Okay, that didn't do anything. Okay, it's still red. Okay, so let's try nature. If it has a life paragon, which is its class, I don't know if that's what it means. So we'll go ahead and cast. Actually, I don't have a life spell to damage it. Well, I have Schism. Oh, that was supposed to be nature. Duh, my mistake. If it's life, I would need to cast nature magic. Okay, so let's try Cyclone Strike. No, nothing. I mean... Okay, well, let's try... This is a Chaos spell. It's still not doing any damage whatsoever. I just don't get it. I don't understand. Your creatures only take damage from one class at a time. At the start of this creature's turn, the class changes. Did it tell me? Did it tell me what it's supposed to be vulnerable to? This could be a problem if it never gets a turn. This actually stops me. Let's just chill then for a minute. Okay, now it will get a turn after the Crook moves. But this is pure chaos right here, so let's try striking. Okay, I guess it has to be from a chaos source, because that was a chaos spell I was using. It just wasn't from a chaos source. Fine, whatever. Kind of an interesting mechanic. Thank you very much for watching Tran win Siralim Ultimate. I hope you really enjoyed what you got to see. Please hit that like button and let other people see it as well, because I just really want to share this with everybody. Walk up to enemy, hold E, collect loot.